Welcome back. In this video we will learn a classical numerical method for solving equations of the form fx equal to 0 called Newton-Raphson method or Newton's method. First we are going to discuss solution of equations of the form fx is equal to 0. Many problems in science and engineering are expressed as given a continuous function fx, find the value of r such that f of r equal to 0. These problems are called root finding problems. There are several methods to solve such equations. We can apply analytical methods, graphical methods and numerical methods. In numerical methods, we consider open methods, for example Newton-Raphson method, and bracketing methods. False position is an example of bracketing method. In open methods, we start with one or more guess points. In each iteration, a new guess of the root is obtained. Open methods are usually more efficient than bracketing methods. In bracketing methods, the method starts with an interval that contains the root and a procedure is used to obtain smaller intervals containing the root. Newton-Raphson method. Given an initial guess of the root x0, Newton-Raphson method uses information about the function and its derivative at that point to find a better guess of the root. The following are the assumptions we are using in the root computation by Newton-Raphson method. First one, fx is continuous and its first derivative is known. An initial guess x0 such that f dash of x0 not equal to 0 is given. Newton-Raphson method is a convenient method for functions whose derivatives can be evaluated analytically. See, this is the diagrammatic representation of Newton-Raphson method. Here we are considering a continuous function, say y is equal to fx, and an equation of the form fx is equal to 0 with the continuous function fx. Suppose that continuous function crosses the x-axis at this point, and this point is taken as the solution of the equation fx is equal to 0. An initial guess point x0 is chosen in the neighborhood of the actual solution. Then finding an approximate solution, say x1, and using that x1 we are again finding another approximate solution x2 which is more close to the actual root. That means we are deriving a sequence of solutions x0, x1, x2, etc. xn, so that the sequence of solutions converges to the actual solution, say x is equal to r. We are drawing a tangent line to the curve y is equal to fx at the point x is equal to x0. And we are extending that tangent line to meet the x-axis at the point say x1, which is taken as the first approximation of the root. If the extended tangent line making an inclination beta with the positive direction of x-axis, we can measure the slope of the tangent line as tan beta. Also, from the graph of the function y is equal to fx, we can measure the slope of the curve at x is equal to x0 by differentiating the function fx and evaluating the derivative f dash x at x is equal to x0, that is slope is f dash of x0. That means we can compute the slope of the curve at x is equal to x0 in two different ways. By from the tangent line we can measure the slope, or we can measure the slope by evaluating the derivative at x is equal to x0. That is tan beta is equal to f dash of x0. From the diagram, what is tan beta? Tan beta is equal to opposite side by adjacent side. So length of the opposite side is fx0 and adjacent side has length x0 minus x1. That is tan beta is equal to f dash of x0 equal to, we can obtain it as a quotient from the tan beta formula, fx0 by x0 minus x1. And cross multiplying we get x0 minus x1 is equal to fx0 by f dash of x0, or x1 is equal to x0 minus fx0 by f dash of x0. So this number x1 is taken as the first approximation to the root in the Newton-Raphson method. In the second step, we are using this x1 as the initial approximation and proceeding. Again we are drawing the tangent line at the point say x is equal to x1, extend the tangent line to meet the x-axis, again at the point x2 which is more close to the actual root than the first approximation x1. So in the second step, as before, we can compute this x2 as x2 is equal to x1 minus fx1 by f dash of x1. So in general, xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus fxn by f dash of xn. We can stop the procedure when the inequality modulus of xn plus 1 minus xn less than or equal to epsilon into mod xn plus 1 is satisfied, where epsilon is some tolerance limit. That means if the difference between two consecutive roots is very small, then we can stop the procedure. Even though Newton-Raphson method is a powerful method for obtaining solutions of equations of the form fx equal to 0 whenever the function fx is continuous, it has some problems also. If the initial guess is far from the actual root, the method may not converge. When the value of f dash x is 0, the method fails. If f dash x is very small, then x1 will be very far from x0. The algorithm cycles between two values x0 and x1, that is x0 is equal to x2 equal to x4 and x1 is equal to x3 is equal to x5 and so on, when x0 and x1 happens to be inflection points of fx that occurs in the vicinity of a root. Now we can consider one example. Solve the equation 2 sin x equal to x near x0 is equal to 2. If fx is equal to 2 sin x minus x equal to 0, then its derivative f dash x is equal to 2 cos x minus 1. Newton-Raphson iteration formula xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus fxn by f dash of xn. Substituting for fxn and f dash xn in this formula, we get xn minus of 2 sin xn minus xn divided by 2 cos xn minus 1. Simplifying the expression, we get xn plus 1 is equal to 2 into xn cos xn minus sin xn divided by 2 cos xn minus 1. In this simplified formula for xn plus 1, we are substituting n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. If we are putting n is equal to 0, we get x1 is equal to 2 into x0 cos x0 minus sin x0 by 2 cos x0 minus 1. Putting x0 is equal to 2, we get the first approximation as x1 is equal to 1.901. And again using this x1 as the first approximation, then we get this next approximated value x2 as x2 is equal to 2 into x1 cos x1 minus sin x1 by 2 cos x1 minus 1. Substituting the value of x1 as 1.901 in the formula, we get second approximation x2 is equal to 1.89552. Proceeding like this, we can derive sequence of solutions such as x3 is equal to 1.89550, x4 is equal to 1.89549. Now here we are stopping the procedure because the difference between the roots x3 and x4 is very small. So let us take the approximate root as x is equal to 1.8955. This is the graph of the function 2 sin x minus x. The continuous function crosses the x-axis. The function crosses the x-axis at 3 different points, somewhere in the neighborhood of minus 2 at x is equal to 0 and in the neighborhood of x is equal to 2. See, when the graph crosses the x-axis, it's what is the nature of its function values? To the left of the first crossing point, the function values are positive, and to the right of that point, the function values are negative. Similarly, at x is equal to 0, there is a root. To the left of x is equal to 0, function values are negative, and to the right of x is equal to 0, function values are positive. Similarly, at x is in the neighborhood of the third crossing point also, to the left function values are positive, to the right function values are negative. That means whenever the continuous function fx crosses the x-axis, we can have a root. That will happen only when the function values are changing from positive to negative or negative to positive. The change in function values at two different points, say a and b, so that f of a is positive, f of b is negative, or f of a negative and f of b positive, we can say that there is a root lying between in the open interval ab. So we will apply this technique for finding roots using bracketing methods, for example false position method or regular falsy method, and we will discuss that topic in the next video. Thank you.